Hello all, and welcome back to First Impressions. HighPriest here, and I'm talking about Avengers INFINITY War. This is a great movie. I'm a little annoyed because something went wrong with the recording and it crashed. So I didn't get very far in, but I have to repeat what I said. The movie, it was really fantastic. Really loved it. However, as usual, I have to go into things I saw ahead of time that were spoilers. Most of them were minor spoilers, but there are pretty major spoilers. I'll talk about the minor spoilers now, and I'll get to that after the big spoiler. Because the minor ones are costume design and one character in the movie who is just there. I'm not going to say what he does while there, but his presence isn't that much of a spoiler. First, Cap's new costume. I know, not much of a spoiler. And the fact that it seems to be a better take on the Nomad costume, specifically. Red Skull. Not much of a spoiler, but he's in the movie. He's not a very important part of the movie, so I don't consider it a major spoiler. But, I mean, he's there, so it's a spoiler, but not a major one. 3. Black Widow's costume change. Stupid costume change. I'll get to that in a moment. Right, so, as usual, I like to go into what I consider the best and worst parts of the movie. In this case, or at least they started doing, best thing, Thanos. Thanos is an amazing villain. Utterly fantastic. Just, so well done. Sorry, we have a bit of a headache. But, utterly fantastic villain. Just, it is my favorite MCU movie, and he is a big part of why. So well done. I understand he wasn't really well liked for his appearance in Guardians 1. And I'm not sure what people's opinions were for it. And no one seemed to really care after Avengers 2. But lots of people were excited about Avengers 1, and oh my god, lived up to it, and beyond it. I think he's the best done villain from the imported so wholly from the comics, and done well. 2. Thing I didn't like. Yeah, there's only one thing. 2, really. First, the non-appearance of Ant-Man in this movie. He's like the only part of the major MCU. Well, pretty really, now that I think about it. I wasn't sure if I really should go into it, but it's an extension of the second one. But yeah, he didn't appear in this movie, and I really think it would have helped, to have the entire movie cast in there, at least. 2. Black Widow's redesign. Why do I have a problem with it? Because they basically turned her into Mockingbird. She is Mockingbird, basically. She's got her hair, got her weapons. She already wore a similar enough outfit. She's Mockingbird. Why is this a big problem? I'm not really a big fan of Mockingbird. I don't care about the character, so why am I so annoyed about this? Because she's already part of the MCU. She's part of the show. Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. not the most watched show, so I can understand people might not get that. But yeah, she was part of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. for like a season and a half there, maybe 2 seasons. No. Season and a half. And the only reason they left the show is because they were originally thinking about giving her and her boyfriend a spin-off. And now, let's just give her everything to Black Widow. Yeah, it annoys me. It just, and this goes into the third, further and further connects to my annoyance about the disconnect between the MCU and movies and the MCU shows. There's so much potential for mixage. But we're never going to have Daredevil and Spidey team up. And I really like Daredevil and Spidey team up. They have a lot of mixture. More than most heroes. They're both New York heroes at the core. Often helping each other out and such. I mean, for God's sake, the Kingpin is in the MCU show, and he's also a major factor as a Spider-Man villain. But because of that mixture, we're never going to see Spidey go up against Kingpin. And that's just messed up. Let alone the hero team ups, the villain. Or hell, you use season 5 and this. Yeah, I'll wait for that part of the rant. Because if it was going to spoil the end of season 5 of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., you haven't watched it, you should, because it's very good. Then it connects to the movies. It's on a two-way street, unfortunately. The shows do their best, but the movies don't want anything to do with them, so fuck it. It's a major disappointment to me. Yeah, not everything can play on that level, but especially with well, I suppose it would technically count as. Well, we'll find out by the end. Once I get the spoiler. But yeah. This entire movie was utterly fantastic, and I loved it. I really did. I was liking it for the first 20 minutes. But once we hit the 25-minute mark, oh man, I fell in love. It is fantastic. Utterly brilliant film. I'm going to have to stick close to my notes here because how many things to talk about. But right now, we're going to go to spoiler mode. That should be enough signal for me to get it down. But, in editing. But, yeah. I had 4 major spoilers for this film. First, Spidey dies. Yeah! Yeah, I had that spoiled for me. That's pretty fucking big. And the worst part, it's my fault. No one else to blame for that but me. It was under a spoiler warning. I shouldn't have clicked. If I had bothered reading what the person was saying before on, I know it would be related to Infinity War, and I shouldn't have clicked it. If I wasn't paying attention, clicked it, read what was inside, and went, oh, fuck. Completely and totally not not their fault. It's absolutely my fault. 110. That's my fault. Full blame. And yet, I'm breaking out a sequence to say this. Despite my dislike of hold on, sorry, of the Spider-Man film, Homecoming. If you haven't watched my review, go back and watch that. It's rather short. I didn't like it. I didn't like their take with the character and all that. I still cried when Spidey died. Like, I knew it was coming. I didn't like this version of Spidey, but I still cried because holy shit, was that a well done scene. Like, I didn't like this version of Spidey, but I didn't want something awful to happen. I didn't personally want something awful to happen to him. And Jesus Christ, that scene with him dying in Tony's arms, begging him to help him. Christ. I actually knew that going into the Spider-Man movie, too. Yeah, I had his death spoiled for me before I'd even seen the Spider-Man movie. It was it was a well done scene regardless. Usually spoilers kill scenes like that, but fuck. Sorry. Kill scenes like that, but no. It was still effective. I'm not even the guy who cries a lot at death scenes in movies. You really have to get me good. I didn't cry a lot, but it happened. There were tears. I wiped them. I was affected. Jesus Christ. Okay. Other free spoilers. Loki was still a good guy. Yeah, it wasn't very far into the movie when he died. Well, I knew he was going to end it. I had no guarantee he wouldn't flip sides again, because, you know, Loki. It was even parodying the last movie. I mean, joked about in the last movie with him in it. He tends to flip sides a lot, both in the movies and especially in the comics. But, no. He died accepting Odin as his dad, accepting his brother, and trying to kill Thanos. He died for it, but I was not expecting that. I also wasn't expecting not nearly as many deaths in this film. Like, holy shit, that intro. I'm getting ahead of myself. 2 more spoilers. Third, Thor's weapon. It's kind of hard not to know about it, because I'm subscribed to people who like making MCU-related toys and such. Well, I can't say toys, but I mean, they're engineers and amateur blacksmiths. Specifically, the hacksmith. Yeah, you might have known him. He's the guy who built power armor. Not power armor, but a real-world exosuit. In his workshop. Yeah, I haven't watched his crap in forever. Mostly because I was afraid of MCU spoilers, so that's getting binge-watched after this. But yeah, he made a video about recreating Stormbreaker in real life, much like he did with other things. And, well, it was called Thor's Stormbreaker. And I was like, that's probably from the movies, isn't it? Damn it. Holy shit. I was not expecting it as much to do with that weapon. Holy shit. Finally, 4. The 4th thing that was spoiled for me. Snap Disintegrate. I wasn't expecting him snapping and then everything disintegrating. I was expecting snap, disintegrate, snap, disintegrate. But I knew that snap would happen. And disintegrations would occur. Gamera, could you stop that? Disintegrations would occur. I actually snap, but I can't. I've never been able to. No, see? But I was not expecting the circumstances behind it, and most importantly, I was expecting it to be the last thing in the fucking movie. I knew he was going to kill half the universe in this movie. Anyone who's familiar with what he was doing, what he did in the comics, knows he's going to kill half the universe. I wasn't expecting that to be the him succeeding and getting away to be the last thing to happen in the movie. Him sadly sitting down on his hill to rest. Just Jesus Christ. Right ending. I'm getting. I thought I knew this was originally Infinity War Part 1, but I thought the fact they dropped Part 1 meant it had basically been the entire Infinity War. No. This is still Part 1. You're just not going to call Part 2, and I'm going to release it at some point in the future, whenever. Maybe Captain Marvel will be Part 2. My question is, how the fuck can they have any of the MCU shows that connect to the movies make any sense after that ending? Like, half the planet just got genocided. And you're going to have a story about minor heroes dealing with drugs and stuff. Or whatever the hell Luke Cage is dealing with, or I don't know, but seriously, what the fuck? And they'll probably just try to ignore it, the less connected ones, but I mean, it would have made more. I assumed that that would have happened closer to the middle of the film. I'd say closer, but not actually near the middle of the film. They would have gotten the gauntlet away. Tony or someone would have used it to resurrect everyone. And Tony probably would have gone overboard in his resurrect everyone and accidentally res a lot of the villains and side characters. Like Pedro and stuff. I mean, we know Spidey's not staying dead because they've been honest about an arc of movies they have planned for him. So it makes sense not only bringing a lot of the heroes they've killed otherwise back, but also the villains they've needlessly killed over the years. Because otherwise they're going to start running the fuck out. Also, I'm going to go over a bit, but since I watched the Spider-Man movie, I've realized part of the reason why I don't like this version of Spidey is because this version of Peter, is that Peter Parker and Miles Morales are two different characters, and that movie smashed them together. Even his very annoying friend Ned is based loosely on one of Miles' friends. I think that was a big mistake. I like Miles Morales. He's just not Peter Parker, and they shouldn't fuse him. I could have dealt with a movie about Miles Morales instead of classic Peter. That would have been great. Instead, they merged them. But yeah. There are another detail I like, but I'll get to that. Okay, so fucking opening starts dark as shit with the SOS signal from the survivors of Ragnarok, and then it just fades into the completely slaughtered ship. Nearly everyone dead. Even shows a good show of the bullshit behind Thanos' belief, because kill half a world. Well, they don't have a world anymore, and most of them were already killed. What was this point of this needless slaughter? Thanos is a bat shit insane. I'm saying, I said it in my notes and I said it here. He's bat shit insane. His philosophy is bullshit. And he's wrong. Especially since with the Infinity Gauntlet, you could just make infinite resources, ex nihilo. I realize I'm getting out of order again, but I need to say that because, seriously, dude, you have the power to rewrite reality. Just make the shit out of nothing. You have the power. That would have been a better justification. Getting the Infinity Gauntlet together so you could act as a living, infinite font of everything for the universe. But now I have to cull half it. Idiot. But, yeah. And my first... I really did like, what Thanos looked like in his armor. I just fucking wish he wore it for the rest of the film. Also, I was wondering, when the fuck did he get the Power Stone? Like, Xandar was attacked and slaughtered off screen. Jesus Christ. Leaving that with him was a big mistake. So yeah, he's shown up with the Power Stone, tortures Thor for a bit because friend gave Loki the ultimatum of killing his brother or handing over, or Loki would hand over the Tesseract. And of course, Loki went, well, you know what, what a difficult choice. Kill away. But you can only sit there and watch Thor being tortured for so long before Loki handed it over. But before he handed it over, he reminded us that, most importantly all, they have a Thor. Have a Hulk. I'm being confused with that fucking headache. We have a Hulk. That line doesn't even work as well coming from him with the situation. We have a Hulk. I have an army, and we have a Hulk. Was much better than that line. But it still works perfectly, because the last time we heard someone say, we have a Hulk, was when he was told that, and then promptly got his shit kicked in. And as we saw in the last movie, we were a little bit traumatized from that. So, the fact that he can say it to someone else, you know he's having fun with that. Ow. And, yeah. Hulk gets his ass kicked in a fist fight. Jesus fucking Christ. Hulk gets his ass kicked in the fist fight so bad, he spends the rest of the movie refusing to Hulk out. I didn't even know but he could do that. But apparently he can. And just, Jesus Christ, that. then Heimdall reveals the fact that he can summon Bifrost energy without the Bifrost, somehow. And manages to rescue Hulk and send him back to Earth. He gets... Thanos gets his stone. Reveals he's going to Earth to get the other two. And Loki pretends to offer his services as the guide, because he has experiences with Earth. Thanos responds with, I love Thanos' response, if you call failing experience. Loki is, I call experience. I mean, he's not wrong. He is the best experience for one there on Earth who would help him. But he, wasn't. He was faking out. He actually tried to save Day, and he got killed for it. That's kind of sad. For once, all the Loki fangirls are vindicated in their love of Loki. I actually have to find out. I actually know a Loki fangirl, and I really want to know what her reaction to that was. Now I have to find out. I didn't even think about it until now, but... Oh, that sounds like hilarious. I wish there was a camera on her at the time. Okay, but yeah. He just casually killed Loki, and Jesus Christ. This film. I knew Spidey was gonna die, but that was the moment when it truly sinned. This movie wasn't pulling its fucking punches. No, he said this time, no resurrections. And I thought, no resurrections is gonna be bullshit. This is going to end with everyone resurrected. I still maintain it's going to... The fight over the Infinity Gauntlet will end with everybody resurrected, but I don't know. But I was wrong. Very much wrong. Horrifically wrong. That, no, this movie does not end with any resurrection. There were no resurrections. Holy shit. Not even Gamora. He had the power. He could have done it. He could have bought back half a Titan. He'd already cleared out everyone else. He made room. It wouldn't hurt. But no. As much as he cared, in his own messed up way, he didn't do that. No resurrections. And then the ship explodes, leading it. The ship explodes and we shift to Earth. Where, just a great lead-in into the title. Hulk perverting the banner in the hole. And telling them, Thanos is coming. But, yeah. We follow that up with the reveal that Tony's got another chess piece. So this one's detachable and is in fact a contain, for the nanotech, or as I call it in my notes, liquid metal armor. It is basically his liquid metal armor. Like, it basically pulls the Endosim armor stuff. I think that's what it's called. I forget if that's what it's really called. But yeah. Him and Pepper are getting married. She's back in the movies again. But, he gets summoned by Strange to explain the Infinity Stones, conveniently leaving out the sixth one again. Which leads me to believe that outside of the location of the Soul Stone, nobody had any fucking idea where that thing was. They knew what the other ones looked like. They'd seen them before, but not the Soul Stone. But, yeah. And, this explained there's a hostility between Sorcerer Supreme and Iron Man. Thanos shows up, they fight. Banner doesn't Hulk out. The Endo-Sim armor has a lot of awesome, that's what I'm calling it now. Endo-Sim armor had a lot of awesome showing. Seriously, the armor was fucking awesome in this movie. Especially like later on when he used it to seal up his wound after most of the armor was burnt out and destroyed. But yeah. Yeah, Bruce is surprised about what happened with Civil War, but he doesn't even know the full detail of it. And, well, yeah, like Thanos shows up, there's the battle. They do decently well against these surprisingly capable mooks. But unfortunately, the wizard in that group manages to actually take out Doctor Strange and get him away. Spider-Man helps for a while, but gets dragged along with them and pulled into the spaceship. Well, onto the spaceship. Before he passes out, though, he's saved from the upper atmosphere. He's saved by the Iron Spider armor from the end of Homecoming. He uses that to continue hitching along, which he shouldn't have, but he did, which gets him yelled at. But it turns out to help in the end, because with his help and his plan, they managed to take out the bad guy by spacing him, saving Doctor Strange. And then Tony reveals his brilliant idea of going after Thanos, who has been haunting his nightmares the entire time. And apparently, also, I'm surprised Thanos knew who he was. Apparently that there was a bit of a link going on there somehow. Anyways, so they fly off. Meanwhile, back on Earth, we reveal that Scarlet Vision is still going on strong. People thought it was crashed and burned with the war, but no. Apparently he's still, his feelings just got stronger, and the two of them went off to live a life together in secret, away from everyone else. But they got forced out of it. I like that, but then I'm always happy for anything that pisses off Bendis and his crap. Yeah, I'm not fond of what they've done, what they did to Scarlet Witch in the comics. At least her kids weren't around to be erased this time. Seriously. But yeah, they fight off the next batch of invaders after the Mind Stone for a while, get saved by Captain and the others, who bring them back to the current Avengers base, where Cap calmly explains the fuck to Thunderbolt, I'm a goddamn General Thunderbolt, I'm a goddamn fucking moron, Ross, that he's going to fucking save the universe with or without his permission. Ross, of course, orders her arrest because he's a fucking moron and an ingrate. Yeah, standard moronic Marvel civilian, so. I mean, he's Ross, so he's worse than usual. Cough, cough, Red Hulk. Cough, cough, Abomination. Meanwhile, the Guardians. I mean, yeah, they go to Wakanda to get help and everything. Figure out how to remove the Mind Stone. Because Wanda could destroy it. Due to her powers being very similar. Which, by the way, for a moment there, I thought her magic might have started taking on the visual aesthetic of, Doctor Strange and stuff. Because, her powers are, in the comics, magic and, normal powers, but not here, it seems. I was disappointed when I realized that. Though I guess they never interacted, so maybe in the next one it'll reveal that, now taut's actually magic. I mean, it would have to occur if she gets revived. It could only occur if she gets revived, but then again, it can only occur if he gets revived. And it'd be a damn shame to only have one movie for many of these characters they killed off. Jesus fucking Christ, this movie. I wouldn't call it the best movie ever made, but god damn is it definitely the best one in the MCU. Anyways, we cut to a third group. I'm not following these events in order, but fuck it. Where the Guardians are going to the SOS signal they got from Asgard. To rescue them. They're too late, but they did get there in time to pick up Thor. The ladies and Drax and the group appreciate how amazing Thor is. I don't know where I can keep getting her names mixed up. Thor is a pirate angel and all that. Muscles like corded metal and all that. She's like, and Quill keeps getting more and more jealous. And then, of course, Thor wakes up. That entire part of the movie is hilarious. Classic Guardians feel. I love it. So, they wake him up, and pretty quickly, a bromance starts occurring between Rocket and Thor. I love it. And then, Thor, Rocket, and Groot go off to track down, the place where his hammer was made, to get a replacement. This time, one specifically designed to kill Thanos. If they can. While the rest of the morons goes to try to get the reality stone from the Collector. And yeah, that was a pretty terrible idea. Yeah, they show up. It's already gone, though they don't know it. Drax refuses to listen to reason. And to try to kill Thanos. Then, of course, Gamora refuses to listen to reason and tries stealth and attacks Thanos. And, it was a trick all along. But Thanos is touched by that fact that she's cried when she did it. That she does, in fact, still care. I referred to it as family bonding in my notes. I'm just amused that the entire thing was just a show put on by Thanos. And nowhere in the Collector's collection was in fact burning. Anyways, yeah. he grabs Gamora to take her because early on she hinted she knew something dangerous that Thanos could never know. It was, obviously, she knew the location of the Soul Stone, given the earlier talk about how no one knew where it was and all that, but yeah. He, grabs her to take her away, and, Quill, at first friends Thanos, and Thanos questions, he says, your boyfriend, and responds with, I forget exactly what he responds with, except that it's with the word booty call. But she convinces him to listen to what she asks, and point the gun at her and kill her to save, the universe. He manages to force himself to pull the trigger and bubbles. Then the gun turns to bubbles. Because Thanos has the reality gauntlet, the Infinity Gauntlet, and it's got the reality gem, the space gem, and the power gem in it. He can do far more than just make illusions. He can alter the fabric of reality. Like, say, turning your gun into a squirt gun. Or a bubble gun. He does some pretty horrifying shit. Shit to Drax and Mantis. Turning them into a pile of cubes. Ugh. Then he escapes with Gamora to take her back to his ship. Talks about how he planned to have her succeed him, sit on the throne that she hated, command a ship that she hated, and hated. And it's once again made clear that he might have been a crazy, insane, abusive asshole, but he did, in his own way, actually legitimately care and love for his kids. Okay. Or at least Gamora. We don't know how far that extends to Nebula. Hence, the scene with him torturing Nebula by pulling her apart bit by piece, like one of those, images of the human body layered over. True, he's doing this to her cybernetics. But considering the sheer amount of her that is cybernetics, also his fault, he's basically pulling her apart, and it is horrifying. From torturing her, though, he knows that Gamora knows where the Soul Stone is. And we know that from that, we know that the one thing he's disappointed in her in is that she lied to him. Not that she turned on him. Not that she tried to kill him. Because he taught her how to do all that stuff. But that she lied to him. And of course, because he didn't teach her to lie, she spat her shit at it. But, yeah. She gives in, tells him where to find it, to stop torturing her, and then has his guys begin putting her back together while he and Gamora go to the planet to get it. While this is happening, we go back to what Rocket and the best romance ever, Rocket and Thor, along with Groot, have made it to the planet, the birthplace of Mjolnir. Found it empty of all but one guy, the guy who made the reality gauntlet, because the rest have been killed and the forges have been shut down. He made the reality gauntlet for Thanos because he believes Thanos would slay his people. In response, Thanos slaughtered everyone but him. Not even half. All of them. It was a mistake to leave him alive, though, because the guy actually could make a weapon that could friend him. Stormbreaker. A weapon of awesome power that could even harness the power of the, shit. I actually forgot what it's called, but the Rainbow Bridge. And somehow, it's not even a hammer, it's a fucking axe. Both a normal pickaxe and a pickaxe, a pick side. So they have to restart the star, which is the dwarf star, which is used to, you know, melt the metal and to make it. They succeed, but the block is broken. So in an extremely epic scene, Thor holds open the door himself, the door for which the energy flows through, cooking himself alive to near death in order to melt the metal and forge it. Unfortunately, the guy can't find actually, I don't think he ever finds the original handle. Thankfully, Groot's there, understands the importance of what's going on despite being sassy teenage Groot. Turns his arm into the handle, which is fucking awesome. And possibly gives it the properties of, you know, mythological Mjolnir. You know, getting it to grow and shorten. It comes to him, healing him, and transporting him to Earth during a epic battle. Let's go over to what's happening on Earth. They made it to Wakanda. They get the resources needed to extract the gem safely from Vision's head without killing him. Wakanda being Wakanda, they of course casually go, well, yeah, we could totally have done what you did better than you. We're Wakanda! Herder! I praise it for being better than the comics handle in the movie. But it's annoying because Wakanda is pretty much the only place in comics where people can claim to be smarter than the smartest people on the planet. And it's stupid. Like, that shit from space makes sense. Earth is still backwater. Tony's suit's cool and all, and it's certainly in it. But they've had armor that appears with a touch for longer. Rocket made it. Made one for the entire team. But, yeah. Though, obviously, Tony's armor is much more freeform with its use. So yeah, they do that. Set up the force field and prepare for an attack by Thanos' forces to claim it. Meanwhile, Tony, Doctor Strange, Peter and Doctor Strange introducing each other, and Peter responding to Doctor Strange's introduction with, "Oh, we're going with made-up names? I'm a Spider-Man." It's such an obvious joke, but yeah, Doctor Strange really does sound like more like a superhero name than, you know, his actual name. No, he really is Doctor Strange. And of course, the cloak. You can't forget the fourth member of that group. Very important. Arrive on the planet, Titan, and wait for Thanos to show up. And, they actually end up, while waiting, they end up ambushed by the rest of the Guardians who are angry about Gamora and are attacking who they think are Thanos' humans. So you get a pretty good fight scene where Tony has turned his hand into a massive cannon and is pointing at Drax, threatening him if Star-Lord doesn't stop threatening Peter. This goes back and forth until finally they figure out that no, we're not working for Thanos. Everyone comes down, they begin setting up a plan to try to, sure. Where's Gamora? I'll do you one better. What's a Gamora? I'll do you one better. Why Gamora? God damn it, Drax. Drax. This is a funny scene. I can't remember the details of with Drax and Mantis, which. But I thought, no, wait, yeah, pretty after that. Them trying to come up with a plan, and Drax and Mantis both going, nah, we'll do what we want. But while all the heroes are fighting, and where Star-Lord goes, I may be only 50% human, but all that stupid, that 100% comes from you. He says to the other humans. The first humans he's met in years, and he regards them both as idiots. Even though he's the stupid, kind of the one who's acting most like stupid asshole, but then again, that's kind of what his group does. Meanwhile, Doctor Strange is doing the smart thing, and using the Time Stone to try to predict the future. He's managed to view thousands of futures, and in only one of them they win. So they lay a trap for the Mount Titan. Meanwhile, over with the Mad Titan and Gamora, they find the place where it is, they climb a mountain, enter a cave where a floating cloaked figure gives them a warning about the Soul Gem having, the Infinity Gems having a cost. And that saying he's ready to pay it. And replying, we all think that. And revealing a skeletal-looking face. At first I thought, oh hey, a generic cloaked dude with a skull face. Then I remember hearing about Red Skull being the movie, I'm like, wait, fucking what? That was actually, holy shit, that was Red Skull? I just assumed that when I heard Red Skull was going to be in the movie, that he was going to be fighting for Thanos, but no. He was, instead of being destroyed, transported there. I mean, people figured he lived because of the space gem being used, so it probably teleported a lot of people. No one expected it to send him to another Infinity Stone to act as its guardian. Well, not that it needed much guardian, but still someone to explain it and offer a warning. In this case, that in order to get the Soul Gem, you'd have to offer a life. Not just kill someone, but kill someone you generally care about. Gamora starts gloating. While Thanos just gets sadder and sadder looking because, ha! There's nothing in this universe you love! Ha! Why are you crying? No. And it hits her that he was wrong. He really did care about something in this universe, at least one thing. And then he says he already failed in his duty once. He won't do it again. And he grabs her by the arm, and he drags her, screaming, and throws her off the cliff to her death. She dies. Again! This movie is not fucking holding back. Which just pretty much confirms there has to be a resurrection in this. Otherwise, it's pretty much just pulling the same bullshit the Ultimate Universe did. And again, we know there are plans for Spidey after this film, so you have to bring him back for those plans to come to fruition. Though I was actually expecting most of the battle for the Infinity Gauntlet to take place on Earth, though that was surprising. Yeah, he had the short, strange vision, wakes up with the Soul Stone, and teleports into the trap on Titan. He explains that his people were basically fighting for resources, and he proposed killing half the people so that there would be abundant resources for everyone. Legally. And now his people are barren wasteland. Since his people are from Titan, he is the Mad Titan. But yeah, he explains his reasoning. Strange calls bullshit and explains that we're going to stop you. At which point Thanos goes, we're? And then they all ambush him in a pretty well planned fight scene. Where they beat the shit out of him. Manage to grab onto much of his limbs and hold him down while long enough for Mantis to get onto his head and start brain fucking him into compliance. Then they try to wrestle the gauntlet off. Not an easy feat. He's not only still holding onto it with all his words. It's, a piece of armor that's designed not to easily come off, because, you wouldn't want that thing to slip off during a fight or anything. Quill flies down and demands to know where Gamora is. And, Mantis puts it together through his slow responses that, she's dead. Quill gets more and more starts to act in denial, but then Thanos confirms it. My Gamora. And he gets pissed and starts beating. Quill gets pissed and starts beating the shit out of Thanos, making him more aware and eventually knocking Mantis off. Just when they almost had the gauntlet off his hand, Quill Gun fucks it all up. So, yeah. They fight. Thanos proceeds to kick their shit in and drop some moon on them. Meanwhile, back on Earth, the forces have arrived, and they have to fight. At first, they're held back by a barrier. While Cap, with his new shield, which I originally believed he would get from Tony, we had to fort the barrier at a choke point to try to keep them from reaching the tower where Wanda and Vision are, while the Mind Stone's being extracted. Eventually, though, the bad guys are not only capable of somewhat squeezing through the barrier with their force and numbers, but only at a trickle, but then they smartly begin circling around the barrier to get around it. There's this great moment when the bad guys say that they will destroy them, and it says that if this is destruction of Wakanda, then it will be a noble end. Which it will be. We then see all the factions of the Pearl opened, and all the factions of Wakanda, plus the heroes, plus Bucky, who for some reason is called the White Wolf, go to war against each other. It's an epic battle, but they are unfortunately slowly but surely being pushed down and lose while they're trying to do their best to keep Vision alive while removing the Mind Stone. Not an easy feat. The battle escalates and escalates and escalates. Eventually, BAM! Bifrost, that's it. Bifrost energy slams down, vaporizing a number of the enemies. And then out of the side of it, shoots out the fucking Stormbreaker, cleaving through a field of enemies before flying back into Thor's hand. Full Thunder God mode. Oh, I forgot to mention that Rocket gave him a new eye. That he hid up his... No, so it wasn't washed before he put it in. Aside from the disgustingness of that, I'm sad because I kind of liked the eye patch look for Thor, and I kind of wish they kept it. I'm actually really sad about that. The eye patch look was really cool, and I was really hoping it was a permanent thing. Sad it isn't. But, yeah, full Thunder God mode comes roaring in with the power that he had at the Battle of Ragnarok, plus his new all-powerful war axe. He begins waging into the enemies. Groot begins doing well. Oh, and there's this great introduction between him and Cap. This is introduces as talking tree and says, "I am Groot," and Cap goes, "I am Steve Rogers." It's great, but yeah, great battle. Funny scene between Rocket where Rocket and Bucky, where Bucky tries to buy his gun, then tries to buy his arm, and then says, "I will have that arm." But it's a great moment. They look like they're beginning to win, but they're not. They're still being overwhelmed, especially they might be been able to win, but then the enemy used weapons that were thrown on the ground, and you really think the Wakandans would have thought of a full sphere force field, but apparently that's one of the few things that their Jewish selves couldn't think of. It gets under the barrier, wages in, so Wanda has to go down to save them. One of the Wakandan warriors asks, "Why was she up there?" Well, one of the other big guys, two of them actually, snuck in to kill Vision. They kick everybody's butt in there. Vision barely manages to escape. Stone's still in his head. And he basically just continues to get his butt kicked down in the wilderness. These two following him. When Bruce, I forgot to mention, because Hulk refuses to come out, popping up for like half a second with, "No!" and then going back, Bruce gets the Hulkbuster armor. Which means, "Banner Smash!" He never actually says that, but it would have been great. Yeah, he's rather happy about getting the field of power of Hulk without having to turn into Hulk himself. Though he's not really great at using the armor. For a while there, he was getting his butt kicked, but he manages to persevere, jam the gauntlet onto one of the big strong guy's arms, and send him flying to the barrier, while the exhaust from the gauntlet burns into him, and being forced into the barrier also burns into him, eventually killing him in a rather grisly fashion. Meanwhile, Cap manages to back up Vision himself against the guy with the weapon that can actually hurt him, to only briefly distracting the guy, but long enough for Vision to kill him with his own weapon. Hold on. Someone's interrupting. Right, hold on, I have to stop now. Ow. I'll be back in a little bit. Alright, I'm back. Right. Where was that? Vision stabs, the guy that's been trying to kill him and stabbing him properly with his own weapon. We skip back, we, snap back to Thanos. Everyone just barely manages to survive the colony, the moon drop, not colony drop. Mostly thanks to Peter and his awesome Iron Spider outfit. I really love the Iron Spider outfit, especially the spider leg thing. That's always a great addition. But, yeah. With the exception of Star-Lord and Iron Man, nobody could survive that. Oh, and Strange. You know, the people who could fly. And were prepared to fly. So Strange pops up. Gets in a... I believe I called it a mindfuck fight. With... Thanos. Where he goes full magic foo on him. In a way very resembling the Doctor Strange movie. Even pulling off a lot of things he couldn't at the time, but he can now. As he got better. Let's direct melee, but unfortunately, him alone against free out of, 4 out of 6 reality gems, he's of no match. He gets beat. The time stone on the Eye of Agamotto, which at this point had been protected so that even if he died, it wouldn't unlock. He gets ripped off and casually crushed by Thanos, but it's a fake. He'd hidden it somewhere where Thanos couldn't get it. Oh, there was a really cool point in the fight when he throws the mirror dimension effect at Thanos to try to shift him off that plane. And Thanos absorbs it in his gauntlet like he did with explosions earlier. And focuses it into a black hole effect. Then Doctor Strange quickly pulls out some magic to turn the owls into butterflies. It's a really good battle, but eventually he loses, and yeah, Strange gets slapped aside for a fight with Iron Man, and Iron Man barely manages to lay a single scrape on him. But goddamn, is watching his armor shift and move like that awesome. I think that's my favorite thing about this Indosim armor. You can casually turn one leg into a gauntlet, keeping a grabber thing, keeping you smashed into the ground, and another arm into a power hammer. Boom! Jet engine legs. Boom! Cannon! And as bits get pulled away and smashed, it just fills in until it has less and less and less until he's almost completely uncovered. He's stabbed, and Thanos reveals he knows him. Or, I think that was at an earlier point. But, point is, how he's impressed, and that half of humanity, this is all over, half of humanity will still live. And he hopes they remember him. He gets ready to vaporize Tony, standing there with a nasty wound, most of his armor disintegrated. But Doctor Strange stops him. He convinces him to spare Tony if he gives him... Oh, Nebula showed up during the fight and joined in and got it eventually being... I forgot to mention she was originally captured because she'd almost succeeded in killing him. So good on her. But yeah. he willingly hands over the time stone to save Tony's life. And yeah, he gets it. He leaves. Appears on Earth. And casually manhandles everybody that comes up to even try to fight him. Forcing Wanda to go with the plan of destroying the mind gem while it's still attached to Vision. At this point, because he had the time gem, I knew he could just undo it. And I was right. She blew up the mind gem, held him at bay long enough to do it, even. He actually stopped the Comforter. Because he understands exactly why she did it. Sacrificing someone you care about for the greater good. You deeply care about. And she, of course, responds with, "You could never understand that." And he, of course, responds with, "Yeah, no, he totally does." And then he sums up the time and undoes it. Grabs Vision. Pinches out. Completely destroying Vision's brain in the process. Turning him dull and dark. And plopping in. He gets to enjoy his victory for all of half a second before Stormbreaker comes flying in! He shoots up the combined powers of the Gauntlet to stop it. And Stormbreaker shoves through until it hit him. It hit him hard. It hurt him a lot. Comes in, begins wiggling it to make it hurt more, and told him, "I told you I'd kill you for that." Once he managed to gather enough energy and strength, say, "Should have aimed for the head." Snap. That single snap. With that single snap, we are suddenly shifted to a plane where he doesn't have the reality gauntlet. Everything is red. The ground is red. The sky is red, but it's clearly the sky and the ground. And there's that little place where he found Gamora and taught her how to balance the blade. Which is, how he got her. He found her alone, separated from her mother. Asked her what was wrong. Kindly guided over. Showed her a switchblade, perfectly balanced. Used as a metaphor for the universe. Tried to teach her to it, while shielding her from what was happening. He was, in fact, trying to keep her from focusing on him slaughtering her parents. An actual mercy and kindness from him. Little kid girl Gamora asked him, did he do it? Yes. The cost worth it. And he says yes. And then he fades back, still standing there, with the Stormbreaker inside him, but clearly much more there than he was before. The gauntlet looks burnt, and Thor asks him, "What did you do?" I can't remember what he described, but he gets a portal opens up and sucks him through, dislodging him from Stormbreaker. And he disappears. And then people start disintegrating. The Avengers do it. Many of the Avengers and Guardians do it right in front of each other. Some don't even get seen when they do it. Groot dies right in front of Rocket. Bucky. T'Challa's helping his one friend up, and then disintegrates moments later. Everyone is appropriately horrified and distraught. And then, we ship to the, and I think what happened. Everyone trying to process what happened. You ship to a scenic little planet. Out pops Thanos. He walks forwards and onto a hill. And a little shelter. Sits down. Tired. Sad. But satisfied in a way. In that his work was good. And that he is finished. And then the credits roll. And as the credits are rolling, you eventually hear the sad little motif of the Avengers scene. Not victorious, but broken. They lost. They lost bad. I like it. I do. It's so rare to have a solid loss for the heroes like this. It's not something I truly think I'd see in the movies, but this was a 100% loss. Yes, they'll recover. Yes, it'll be retconned, but I'm okay with that. A temporarily lost better. It's just trying to figure out how this will affect literally everything else that comes after it. That's confusing. Anyways, we get to the after credit. Hold on, I want to get to my end of the page in my notes. Turns out I didn't need them as much as I thought. Oh yeah, win part 2. I was wrong. Where is Ant-Man? Anyways, we get to the after credits. Only one this time. And Fury! Nick Fury is there. He and Hill are driving, talking about something. A car crashes into them. They're out, there's nobody in there. Something's going on. Fury tells her to call in the Central. They got a cold red. And, she replies, "Sir," and she's disintegrating too. Fury hurries, rushing past someone who's disintegrating, and someone who didn't. Travels her thing, pulls out this strange communication device, sends in the signal, and then notices he's beginning to disintegrate too. Motherfuck! It's motherfuck! It falls around. It confirms the signal sent. And the screen lights up with the colors of Captain Marvel. Otherwise known as Miss Marvel for a time in the comics, but obviously not here. Mostly because there was already a Captain Marvel. And let's talk about that a little bit. I was not particularly excited for the movie before I saw this. Now I actually am, because I'm kind of hoping it's the part 2 to this amazing movie. And, yeah, I'm not energetic as I used because, well, emergency situation, let's get to that. It wasn't bad enough that I couldn't come back and continue the recording and everything, but, yeah. Not fantastic. So, I'm trying to distract myself. So! I wasn't so confused. I don't have any problem with Captain Marvel as a concept, and Miss Marvel, and many of her present, and some of her time as Captain Marvel. I have a problem with... My problem with her is the problem I would have had with Iron Man if I was aware of Civil War before Iron Man 1 came out. Civil War 2 turned her, much like Civil War 1 did Tony, into a massive, paranoid, stupid cunt. She is awful in every way, and, yeah. I mean, for God's sakes, she has Banner killed for no other reason than someone saying in the future Hulk would go on a rampage. And lo and behold, he's not even the Hulk anymore. That goes to one kid who I remember having tried to help the Hulk at one point. That's not her point, though. Point is, she's, in the comics, not exactly had a great recent history. So, I wasn't exactly eager to see a film about her. But it's happening. It's actually introducing the Skrulls, connecting her to the Kree. I wonder if it will mention Inhumans, because, you know, it might have went over the movie, but they turned that into a TV show that flopped hard. And the other TV shows, they don't, even if they didn't, they don't acknowledge them. I really hate that freaking policy. And I'm pretty sure it's only happening because the guys in charge hate each other. So fuck them. Ugh. But yeah, I'm not actually excited for the movie, if only because I think it's going to be either another prequel movie, which I'll be fine with, but more importantly, I think it might be essentially Avengers Infinity War Part 2, since there's no actual Infinity War Part 2, and rating of 3 or 4 years, or how long it's been since the last Avengers 3, for a follow-up to this one, would be a colossal dick move. But I think that about covers it. Utterly fantastic movie. My favorite in the MCU. Mixing of all the different MCU heroes. Nearly the entire elements. It truly felt like a true Crisis arc from old comics. Like Crisis on Infinite Earths or the original Infinity War arc. It really feels like a Crisis event in movie form. And in a lot of ways, it feels like what the Avengers was to superhero movies done over again, but better. They managed to get lightning to strike twice in this case. The one made amazing crystallization of everything into the Avengers. And then they did it again. Third Avengers movie. It's deserving of all the love people have for it. I love it. Everybody loves it. It was great. Like, I think everybody loves it. I think the only complaint I've heard is that people didn't want to watch all the movies leading up to it. Which, your fault if you felt lost. But it was utterly fantastic. Loved it every bit. So I was given a number ranking. I think I'd give it a 9. I don't think I'd ever give anything a 9. I don't really do number rankings, though. Mostly because I'm a little wishy-washy. Oh, thing I forgot to mention. This is something I've thought on since my Spider-Man review, and I really liked it here even more. I like Tony trying to be a mentor for Peter. I do. I actually like that he really wants to do well in this. It's just that he's Tony, and of course he doesn't. Which, of course, is part of why that scene hurt me so well. It's been a while since I've cried for a character death. Last time it was with my favorite character in fiction, and yeah, that one took a while to get over. Sad, very sad about what happened to Pete. Even though I know he's going to come back, they have to. Now my only question is, the fuck is Into the Spider-Verse? Is it an animated movie? I thought it might have been a major movie. Oh, and they better fucking use this the reboot effect as an excuse to bring in the Apodron. I've been wanting it for a long time, but if you're going to make a live action movie Spider-Man, better goddamn bring in Spider-Man's Marveler, Leopodron. I'm probably not pronouncing it at all right, but if you know what that is, it's the giant robot that he had in the Japanese live action series. Specifically, it's the giant robot that all the Power Ranger Megazords were patterned off of. It is the classic Japanese giant robot. At least not in non-anime form. It even showed up in an actual crossover event for Spider-Man, where it got destroyed, but doing so pretty much completely zapped the bad guy's powers. I really want to see Leopodron show up at some point. I don't care if it's just a reference. I don't care if it's just a little toy. I don't care if it's a part of a joke. Make a reference to Leopodron. Sorry, that's something that I've been wanting to talk about. Anyways, but yeah, it's right on longer than I thought, which is why I killed the sound by now. Oops. I probably should have just done that in editing. Anyways, if you like this video, then please like, comment, and subscribe. This is HighPriest signing out, and I will see you all next time, folks.